After the war, they were able to revisit this, and they actually installed this pumping plant about 20 years later. These big green machines you see in front of you, there's 6 of them. Those are pumps, and their sole purpose is to pump water up and over the hill into Banks Lake. So it takes water from Lake Roosevelt, everything behind the dam, we pump it up and over the hill. We can do up to 1 billion gallons of water per day per unit, and that allows us to fill up Banks Lake, which is effectively a holding tank. It's a man-made reservoir for the irrigation project. And from then on out, we can take that water, it goes all the way down to Potholes Reservoir, about an hour south of us, near Moses Lake. And from then on out, it goes through hundreds of miles of canals and waterways to irrigate 670,000 acres of land in eastern Washington. But when we have enough water up in Banks Lake, if you look down to your right, you can see those gray machines. There's 6 more of those, and those are actually pump generators. So they have a little different purpose. Not only can they pump water up and over the hill, but when Banks Lake is full, we can actually siphon that same water back down, generate up to 314 megawatts out of those generators, and then we can use that same water through our big turbines to generate more electricity. So that gives us a little bit of control over the water we want to send up and down for the smaller electric production. And we have a dam worker walking across in front of you right now. That's kind of exciting, which is strange because it's a Sunday and we usually don't see him on Sundays. But anyways, as I said, we're able to irrigate up to 670,000 acres of land. Now, that's a lot, and we still have the capacity to go up to 1.1 million acres of irrigatable land. So if anyone's thinking of going into the farming industry, we got water for you. You just gotta start farming.
Are these producing power?
These ones? These green ones? No. It's the ones down there that we can't siphon water back down and produce power. And you know, if you listen, if we were pumping right now, we'd be able to hear it. But because Lake Roosevelt and Banks Lake are both at full pool, we don't really have too much necessity to be doing too much pumping right now. As I was saying, in those acres of land, we are able to produce upwards of 90 different crops. Most people don't know it, but Washington grows some of the most crops in the nation. For instance, we grow a lot of wheat, we grow hops, we grow all sorts of fruits and vegetables. If you drove in from Spokane, if you drove on Highway 2, you noticed a ton of wheat fields. Does anybody know what Idaho's famous for? Potatoes. Idaho is the potato state. Well, we actually grow more potatoes in this county than in any other county in the nation. So, yeah. So that gives you an idea of things that we grow. Another weird one that I found out when I started working here is we actually grow 80% of the nation's mint crop. Wow. So, yeah, so when you go brush your teeth with your Colgate, the mint may have came from here, so that's kind of interesting to think about as well. Oh,
how about sugar beets?
What was that?
Sugar beets?
Sugar beets? Well, I don't know. Do you know that? Who knows?
There's 90 crops, take your pick.
Yeah. There's a good chance, though. So if you look across away from us, you can actually see these panels, these green boards with all the dials and switches and things. Guess what? When this was built, it wasn't hooked up to a computer. So we had to have 2 men standing at each one of these panels 24/7 to regulate it and operate it and things like that. But, you know, later on, we hooked everything up to one main system where we can have 2 gentlemen in a room some other place operating everything. But we're happy to say that they're still fully functional in case, you know, computers never crash, do they? But yes, they do.
Where are we standing in relationship to the dam? Where is this dam physically located?
All right, let's think about this. So I always get turned around in that elevator. that way, right?
Main dam is out of control. This is the wing off the main dam.
Shoot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I always get turned around here. So
This is
the
west
water,
end.
where we enter, the water's over there, it comes down into our pumps and then is pumped up and over the hill, which means, yeah, that way is the hill.
Banks
right?
Lake.
Yeah, up and over the hill, 280 feet or so, upwards.
And
And
the
then
dam is on that side of the wall.
Yeah.
Are those G switchgear?
GEs? These two machines are GE, the next four are Westinghouse, but,
I'm talking about the panels over the far wall.
okay. I'm not positive. You know if those are GE?
I doubt if they are, because we have a mixture of vendors for the actual units, so there are probably some other independent instrument control
Actually,
companies.
yeah, because we have GE,
look at them, the
Westinghouse,
same-
Hitachi.
the same
there's all
panels,
sorts of different
But we
ones.
got different brand names, you can see on the top of the mast, that's a Westinghouse.
Shovel-ready drop, that for 50 years they've been waiting to finish that other million acres out here.
Right.
Nothing was ever said, there's never legislation, I don't think ever. That stuff's ready to go.
Thursday.
It's just never said.
Oh, on
You
the.
know, I mean, you gotta say